Okay? So I want us to answer.
On 9th May this year, the school second term began. Schools had been closed for 2 years, that is 2020 and 2021, over the COVID-19 pandemic and only opened fully in January. A scarcity of fuel later that month caused the prices to rise. Even after supply stabilized, the cost started creeping up, affecting the prices of food. Last week, school owners in Luwero told NTV that many of them cannot afford to feed their learners because of high prices of maize and beans, a staple in many schools. In January, prices of maize flour were below 3,000 shillings per kilogram, while beans cost 2,500 shillings. Maize flour now costs 4,200, while beans are up to 4,000 shillings, and the prices are expected to rise further. Many of the school owners hinted on a premature end to the second term. The increase in food prices has been attributed to the rise in costs of fuel, blamed on the global forces of demand and supply and the Russia-Ukrainian war. With this situation, the National Private Educational Institution Association Uganda says many schools can no longer afford to feed the learners.
There was an increase in prices of the key food stuff that we use at school. To take an example of posho, from 100,100 kilograms to almost 360.
They have proposed that schools that cannot afford to keep their learners for the last 2 weeks of this term provide a holiday package. The term is scheduled to end on 12th August.
So that learners go home and do that work. When they report back, at the time of reporting, schools will come out with modalities of dealing with going through this work they have given the students to avoid them being redundant at home.
The association has also spoken against the validation or re-registration of private schools following a declaration by the Ministry of Education that seeks to recall all old registration certificates and replacing them with new 5-year certificates.
There is no private school that will be in a position to acquire a serious loan facility from any bank which requires a payback time which is longer than 5 years. And that limits the amount of money in loan that has to be given to schools.
They proposed recommendations to the government.
That the Directorate of Education Standards Inspectorate be empowered fully and be funded fully and be equipped fully with enough human resource to able monitor, supervise and inspect schools.
Mildred Pedun, NTV.